I'm still alive. I've got the man himself right here with us, the one and only Gary Erwin, a.k.a. Shrimp City Slim. You know him from putting together the Blues Cruise with the Festival of Discovery. He's here. He's going to be at Howard's tonight. So how you doing today, Gary?
Good, Ann. So great to be back in G-Wood. I mean, I'm telling you what, time flies, and it feels like home. You know, rolling on in on 178 to 25, and in the town. Feels good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So how are things down in Charleston?
Everything is fine. You know, we're at the close now of very busy tourist season.
Mm-hmm.
We're really pumping from like April on, from April till about October or so. And it was a very busy year. And I was just telling Ree, I mean, tourism in Charleston is getting more hectic all the time. So accordingly, the demand for live music is such that we can stay fairly busy. Thank goodness for that.
Absolutely, and you've got so many. You do a lot of on the water. Do you do some charter boat stuff?
No, we do from April through. Actually, we have 2 more left. Every Thursday, we do a blues and barbecue harbor cruise.
Right. Okay.
On a triple-decker riverboat.
A triple-decker?
Yeah, like paddle wheel riverboat. It's called the Carolina Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And we go out on Thursday evenings, barbecue buffet, live band, Shrimp City Slim Band, cash bar, and a 2-hour cruise. And that's a lot of fun and very well attended. And then on the other side of town, I do a little fine dining type cruise on another line.
Oh, so you're cruising all the time.
Yeah, I mean, several times a week. You know, either the blues and barbecue or the kind of like the white tablecloth stemware type, you know, laid back piano music kind of cruise.
Right.
So
Wow.
it's interesting. I mean, I'll tell you what, Charleston Harbor is beautiful. You just can't get enough of it.
It's nice that you're able to do that. I was talking to somebody today from Charleston. They were talking about some of the fine places to dine. Like there's a place called Sugars or something that does fantastic cupcakes. And then another place where they do real fruit popsicles, an ice cream place. And, you know, I said, you know, we're going to have to come to Charleston. And I'm going to have to come see Gary. But we're going to have to do a food tour down there and put it on the radio. And Ree said, and that will really test your ability to describe things.
There you go. Well, you know, it's it has become known as a food town, and there are a lot of choices. I think some of it is overhyped. To be honest with you, it's overpriced, overhyped, and it's fine. You know, I guess if you are looking for the fine dining experience, there's a lot to choose from. Me personally, I miss the international flavor of. I grew up in Chicago, so the so-called ethnic restaurants.
Oh yeah.
You know, the family places where people from other countries are cooking the food that they cook at home. That's what
the Polish people do. There's a big contingency up there of Polish people.
Yeah,
in fact, when we were up there doing a big show. We were in a mall and we were looking. Jeff wanted to have some really good ethnic food and we couldn't find a place, and so we walked up to these people. They had a pizza place, and Jeff goes, "Where could we find?" And maybe he said Polish food. I don't know what he said, but the people looked at him and they go, "Well, you could come home with us." We were just like, here we are from South Carolina, and in Chicago they invited us to their house. We did not go, but I thought, wow, that's really different.
Well, you know, that's what another thing I miss about the Midwest is people are very forthcoming and very open and conversational. I mean, they're friendly people. You know, there's no artifice. I mean, basically. That's pretty extreme. Come to my house type of thing.
We thought so.
Well, you can make friends pretty fast in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know.
And when we were there, we had some ladies bring us. What did they? Jeff said, "Oh, I love this." They brought in potato pancakes to the show and did all this kind of stuff. It was pretty wild.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
It is good stuff. So, yeah, you know what? Charleston is in the top 10 for destinations. Travel destinations?
Well, a certain magazine, the credibility of which I find a little questionable, made it the #1 city in the country and #2 in the world after Florence, Italy. Come on now. Really.
Well, I thought that was pretty amazing.
Well, somebody's greasing
somebody paid somebody.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of back scratching going on there, you know.
Yeah, but
you didn't hear it from me.
No, we didn't hear it from you. Okay. Nobody heard it on the radio either, did they?
No.
Well, it's Friday afternoon, and it's we always do giveaway Friday here on Friday afternoon, and of course you're here this afternoon. And where are you going to be playing?
Well, we've got 2 gigs, Shrimp City Slim gigs tonight in Greenwood. First of all, I'll be doing a solo at Flynn's on Maxwell.
Oh, okay.
They've got their on-premises license now, so you can come by and have a craft beer or a glass of wine at Flynn's. That'll be from 5:30 to 7:30. And then my trio will be at Howard's on Main from 8:30 to midnight.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. So 2 chances, right in the same neck of the woods, so uptown Greenwood. So come on by. And about the giveaway Friday, I'd like to offer 3 CDs to give away.
Wow. Okay.
3
Great.
Shrimp City Slim CDs. Is that okay?
Sure. Do you have? Did you do a new one?
I did a new one. Unfortunately, it's an import at the moment.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm all sold out of mine.
Okay.
They're available online, but it's actually an album called Transatlantic Blues Project, which I recorded in Poland in 2012 when I was on tour with a band called Green Grass.
How about that?
But I would like to offer, I've got copies of Ancestor Worship, the Boston Sessions, Blue Palmetto, and also I Work Nights, so I'd like to leave those with you.
I Work Nights. There you go. All right. Well, that sounds...
And days too.
I work 24/7. It's the holiday season. Isn't it great that it's here?
I love it.
And have you been uptown Greenwood yet?
Yes, went and loaded in at Flynn's already and Howard's. And looking beautiful.
I'm telling you, the lights, wait till you see it tonight. They have all the trees wrapped in lights. And of course, Sunday is the parade. And the theme of the parade is Winter Wonderland. And when it gets dark, and it's pretty easy to see today because it's not real sunny out there. It is really awesome. It'll be beautiful tonight. It'll look like a winter wonderland, which is what Laura Ackerman kept telling me when she was on the show. It looks like a winter wonderland. So
Laura and the good folks at Uptown Greenwood and Charlie and Julie and everybody, they do such a tremendous job promoting that section of town. Of course, that's where we do the Festival of Discovery and the Blues Cruise every July. And I think it's a joyous place. It's great to see healthy business happening, really nice folks working, mom and pop stores, a lot of interesting things to see and do. And I think it's beautiful to see that kind of growth.
Absolutely. But I tell you what, while we get ready for doing a little giveaway Friday, thank you, Grace. We're going to hear a word from our sponsor. That's right, a broom and a hose. That's an old one now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that song, though. I still like that song.
Thank you. 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know, that song kind of like it comes from a lot of different places, but I wanted to celebrate the mundane. We talked about this beforehand, all of us aspire to greatness and in our lives, in our daily pursuits and things we do. But it all boils down to just like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And
a broom and a hose.
A broom and a hose, the simple things,
Yeah. Do you know what today is, Gary? Today is Have a Party in Your Bathtub Day.
Is it really?
Yes, it really is.
Well, what are we doing here?
I have no idea. I just thought I'd throw that out. That might be interesting to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a party in your bathtub day. Not just take a bath, have a party in your bathtub day. Yeah. This is, unique days coming up. It's also National Cookie Day.
Yeah, I heard about that. I see you're doing a cookie, the 12
cookie tasting. A cookie tasting.
The 12 cookies of Christmas, I think it is.
12 days of cookies, that's
12
right.
days
there
of
will be
cookies.
an endless supply of cookies at Sharp Facets starting next Saturday.
Saturday and Sunday, December 13th and 14th. Saturdays can be at 11 to 6.
Right.
Wow, so you can bring the kids and everything. And then Sunday after church, 1 to 5.
Yeah, I'm telling you. We are, and the Cookie Man's going to be cooking them himself.
And I see his picture here. He looks like he's definitely one of the pros at cooking and making cookies.
Absolutely.
And while you're down here at Sharp Facets enjoying the cookies, why not take a look around? There might be, a stocking stuffer or two that you might jog your memory that Christmas is only, 20 days away. And by the time the cookie days come, it's going to be like,
12 days.
12 days away. So time to get moving, everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, my new phrase, believe in the sparkly. The sparkly, if you think about it, Gary, there are moments in history and moments in time that could have turned out totally different. For example, think about Rowan and Martin, the old guy that used to always go
Yeah.
after Ruth Buzzy and
Oh,
say,
yeah.
how would you like to come over to my place?
Right.
Just think, he would have not still been sitting on that park bench if he'd had a little sparkly.
That's true.
Think about these things.
Well, I wrote a song called Diamond for a singer called Shelley Waters, and we recorded that song. And I started to think about how, a diamond represents everlasting love because it's the most enduring substance that we know of now in the material world.
Right.
So if you want to show someone like I really love you, and I want our love to last forever, you give them a diamond. And I know, gentlemen out there, take it from a guy I'm no expert on love, but I'm successfully married for the second time, and now we're together over 20 years.
For the second time. I like that.
For
yes.
the second time, practice makes perfect.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't Christmas be a beautiful time to get engaged to that special one you've been, who your heart's been fluttering for all these months?
Exactly.
This might be the time to get a little diamond engagement ring. It doesn't even have to be little; it could be big.
Could be big.
And give it to her at Christmas time, and I think it would be a nice thing to do.
Share the sparkly.
Share the sparkly.
There you go. What an idea. Gary, I love the fact that you write songs and do all this different stuff. What is Shelley doing? Is she still performing?
Shelley is. Now Shelley has kind of shifted gears a little bit. She's gone country.
Country?
Yeah.
She was Louisiana.
Well, she's from Louisiana, and we were down in the swamp for a while.
Right, yeah.
But now she's in a Nashville frame of mind. So she's got a new album out, which is very nice, by the way. It's called Drive, and it's more on the contemporary country side of things.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's looking to do some touring and whatnot. I think 2015 will be an interesting year for her, and you can pay attention to her and follow her by looking at her website, shelleywaters.net.
Wow, I didn't know she changed to country. That's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So, we wish her the best, and we'll work together from time to time, but, we're not down in the swamp anymore.
Yeah.
I miss the swamp.
Yeah.
I love the swamp.
Who else is in your band now? Who's in your band now?
Well, as a matter of fact, the drummer, he's out in the store as we speak, John Clam Chop Etheridge, a very gifted percussionist.
He's been with you for a while.
Yes, he recorded actually on Blues on the Beach in 1994. So he's been with me on and off for 20 years. And on harmonica tonight is Juke Joint Johnny. He's been with me on and off since 1991, 92. I don't know if Juke's ever been in here before.
But I think I've talked to him before. I think down at the Blues Festival, I've talked to him before.
Yeah, he may show up here in the studio, Ann, but Clam Chop is here. And these guys are both great entertainers, both really funny people, full of charisma, full of, pea and vinegar, and ready to sing and play for you tonight at Howard's. And of course, I'm going to do that solo gig over at Flynn's on Maxwell at 5:30. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Sure, that'll be kind of relaxing. Get yourself changed over from work mode to into the weekend mode.
Get you from the coffee into the wine.
There you go. All right, hey, I tell you what, we are here with the one and only Shrimp City Slim. Hey, I'm Ann Eller, and Gracie is here too. And you got to stay tuned right here on WCRS. Don't you go away. News is up.
Arg, are you a pirate or a pack rat? Do you have a vacation of a lifetime sitting in the attic? Or a college tuition hung on a wall? Or is a fabulous retirement hidden in your jewelry box? Bring those items to Sharp Facets Gallery. We can establish value and buy from you or sell for you. And so ends another chapter at Sharp Facets Gallery, 72 Bypass, and on the web, sharpfacets.com.
Oh, that's right. Desperately old-fashioned. Shrimp City Slim, are you desperately old-fashioned?
I'm afraid so, Ann. And there's no turning back now.
There's no turning back now. Yeah. I like that song because it has such nice refrains about nothing up my nose, things like that. I mean, it's just got a lot of good stuff in it, Gary.
Yeah, I don't drink Red Bull. I just get more sleep.
Yeah, right. What brought that song on, I must ask?
We work in the nightlife, and we work with a lot of younger people. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's observation of the way society has gone,
Yeah.
and somewhat of a disagreement with what's happening right now.
I guess so.
Yes. So.
I guess that's what the blues is all about, though, right?
Well, I mean, we'd be remiss as troubadours if we did not make some statements about what we perceive around us. I mean, the troubadour has always been the message bringer, the messenger, the person who is like observing what's happening. They're the broadcaster of news. So we try to keep it light and entertaining, but at the same time, sometimes we have to just speak our minds and let our opinion be known. And luckily, there are a lot of people who do share our opinion.
Absolutely. And I think that that's what, when you think about these things, 30, 40, 50 years from now, when someone hears that desperately old-fashioned, at a time of period when we're going through all the things that we're going through in life right now, it'll be interesting to see what they think about that then, won't it? I won't be here, but it'd be interesting to know what people think about that song then.
Well, my dad, rest in peace, passed away at the age of 89 10 years ago, and I used to interview him for our family history before he passed away. And that was a question I always made sure to ask him, was, Dad, were things as bad back in your day as they are now? And it's always the same way. People are always disgruntled with things. As we get older, we don't like what the younger people are doing. I mean, that's just kind of like the way it's always been.
Is that when we realize that we're really too old to be here?
No, it's just that we've been around. We've got the voice of experience, as he used to call it, and that's just the way it goes. So, why not say it?
Yeah. I just think I think sometimes though you just wonder how far are things going to go. Do you think they're ever going to swing back the other way, Gary, or is things going to just continue? Do you think we'll ever turn off the phones and the tablets and all these things and sit down and have conversation like you and I are able to do?
No, it's too late, Ann.
It's too late.
It's too late, yeah, because the whole thing, and that's the thing we talk about music sometimes. So you take the worst noise of what so-called music these days, the worst noise that you can find, fast forward to 20 or 30 years from now, and it's going to sound downright melodious compared to what's going to be available now.
Wow.
So.
One of the things, though, in talking about the blues certainly has survived time, hasn't it?
Oh, yes.
The old blues is as good today as it was in its day.
Well, it's honesty, again, it's people talking to each other. I think what we're having right now, there are three of us sitting here, you and I and Clam Chop, our band's drummer is here with us.
We haven't let him say a word yet, but go ahead. Yeah.
Sitting around talking, having a quiet moment with each other. I don't think it'll ever go out of style. And I think people just need to, as we were saying earlier about the tea time or the coffee break, take a break from your day. Let the stress keep rushing on by. Take a moment to breathe and spend some time with each other. That's what it's all about.
Sure. Let's see, what did I read a sign at Cracker Barrel last night? Something about I was too busy working to have a life.
That's a sad statement, isn't it?
That is a sad statement, and I thought, wow, here we all are working, not ever taking time to have a life. So, Clam Chop, why don't you jump in on this? What do you think about this, having a life here?
Well, I can see that I've only been in Greenwood for a few hours now, and I see at the Dixie Drive-In they've noticed that I'm in town because they had a sign up there that said, "Had a corn dog lately? Well, come on in." They knew I was in town.
Makes perfect sense to me. There you go. Now, I got to ask you, Clam Chop, you are the drummer for Shrimp City Slim, and the trio is going to be performing tonight at Howard's. But what is your real name? Is that your real name?
Well, in the music circles, it is Clam Chop. There are a lot of drummers by the name of John. My name's John Etheridge.
Right.
And I'm a third-generation musician, and so
wow.
I come by my talents naturally.
Yeah. But how did you get the name Clam Chop? Something about Sherry Lewis and Little Neck Clams. I mean, I'm kind of confused here.
Well, one of our big shows that we did in Charleston several years ago, we actually had the opportunity to be the opening act for a marionette puppet show. And
Was that
then
the highlight of your career?
it was one of our first steps of the real springboard of the blues.
Springboard of the Blues, a marionette puppet show. And so how did you come by this name? I mean, did this happen at this show?
Well, I was really lamb chop at first, but then after that, after our next big break, going to Martha's Vineyard to play at a christening private event.
I understand you got flown up there and everything for
That's
this
right.
event, yes?
And the hosts were very gracious, and they provided us with all the little neck clams that we could eat. And I'd never had them before, but I fell in love with them along with the other libations that they provided. So after lamb chop, it became clam chop shortly thereafter.
I see. And from there you've gone on to complete and total stardom, is that right?
That's correct. Now I'm residing in Alabama now, in central Alabama, and I play my guitar for the squirrels and deer.
And every once in a while you help Gary out here. This is a pity mission here you're on.
Well, sometimes Gary does a lot of work, and he does a lot of promotion of the blues music, not just in South Carolina, but really in the Southeast and the East Coast. And he plays a lot of solo work too, but I feel very fortunate that he still decides to include me in the things that he does when he wants to do a full band type thing, as we're going to do tonight.
Wow, that's great.
Oh, and I should add too, the Clam Chop was here during the Blues Cruise this July,
Yeah.
and he performed not only with us but with Robert Lighthouse, and he did some tech work and so forth. So he was all over the festival. And several years ago, we had the pleasure of Clam Chop and I were the Summersby duo. We played the Summersby Apple Cider stage, which was another career highlight.
It really was.
And we danced between the raindrops. It was raining the afternoon we played, but we danced with a bottle of Summersby in our hands. And believe me, Anna,
Didn't mind it at all, huh?
absolutely delicious.
That's terrific. You got to admit, the life that you both have, it really has afforded you a lot of opportunities to do a lot of unique things and see a lot of unique parts of the world, wouldn't you say, Gary?
You're absolutely right. We're very fortunate, I would say.
Yeah. So you're going to be performing tonight at Howard's, and first, though, you're going to be actually performing over at Flynn's, right?
Yes, that's right. 5:30 solo shrimp performance at Flynn's on Maxwell. And you can get a nice bottle of beer or a glass of wine over there, and that's going to be piano blues. Then at 8:30 tonight at Howard's, it's the trio, featuring Clam Chop on drums and vocals, and Juke Joint Johnny on harmonica and vocals.
He is awesome.
Yes, he was here during the Blues Fest, and it's going to be a really rockin' show at Howard's. Now, also tomorrow night, to kind of like round things out, we're going to be at the Aiken Center for the Arts, 7 o'clock showtime in Aiken, South Carolina, and that's a kind of a benefit performance for arts education in the community. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Wow, and you were telling me what, one of the performances was almost sold out?
It's about sold out, but I understand there are a few tickets left. So folks need to go to aikencenterforthearts.org and then order tickets online or call and place them on hold because it's gonna be packed.
Wow, that's terrific. Hey, I tell you what, we need to hear a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with Shrimp City Slim and Clam Chop right here on WCRS. Hey, we're on. We just had another edition here. Juke Joint Johnny is with us this afternoon. How you doing, Juke Joint Johnny?
Let me just say that nothing could be finer than be here at the diner.
Be here at the diner. Well, there you go. You're a poet and you didn't even know it. Now, you play the harmonica, right?
I do.
And I think you're pretty awesome because I've heard you play the harmonica before. So how's it feel to be back here in Greenwood, not during the Blues Festival, but just to be here on a December 5th, 2014?
Well, I would say that the whole Greenwood experience is always it's really cool coming from Charleston. You begin to see the difference in the geography, and then you show up in Greenwood. It's a pretty little town.
Absolutely. You know, we had somebody that just came up from Charleston a couple of weeks ago, and they walked around the place, and they went, "This is just a throwback town. This is just a throwback town." They couldn't get over, and they went to some of the diners around that we have, and they were like, "Wow, this is like 1950s."
Well, you know, thank God some of these small towns in the interior of South Carolina have not torn down all their old buildings. I mean, it's beautiful to see this, and it's beautiful to see how they're coming back.
Absolutely. So I'm glad you're here. I guess you're looking forward to playing tonight at Howard's?
Terrific. Can't wait to be there. We were at Howard's back in the summertime and had a big time there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you played with Robert Lighthouse, didn't you?
I did sit in with Robert. I think he was on a corner someplace. And,
He was on a corner someplace.
He let me sit in with him, yeah. He was busking, I think.
Okay, all right. Well, I know that you really like playing, I guess, with Gary, huh?
Oh, after 20 years, yeah.
You're still going to keep doing it, huh?
Well, I've always liked
He's
it.
lying through his teeth.
Let's say
He's lying through his
we're
teeth.
starting to get used to it.
Oh, you're starting to get used to it?
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. Okay. All right. Remember, you're on your second marriage, and it's lasted over 20 years now.
Yeah, I've known these guys longer than my wife. Isn't that sick?
That's pretty sick. All right. Well, you know, I know that. What's your favorite? I mean, you play the harmonica. Do you play all different types of harmonicas, or have you got one specialty one?
Well, I do play several different types of a harmonica. I play the diatonic harmonica, which is your typical 10-hole, like a marine band. And I have some of those customized for me. They're built by harmonica customizers, several of which are in the country. And I also play a chromatic, several different chromatic harmonicas. That's the one with the clutch on it. It's got the button on it. Interesting story. I sold one to a guy and on eBay, and he wrote me back. He emailed me how happy he was with it, and it turned out he was a one-armed guy. And he told me that he played it by standing next to a wall, and I bumped the button against the wall, and he was changing keys.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Just shows what you can do, right? What you want to. Now, who was the guy that we interviewed from Germany? He was here with Professor Bottleneck, and he had all those different harmonicas.
Oh, that was Harmonica Frank.
Harmonica Frank, yeah. He had quite a collection of harmonicas.
Oh, Frank, yeah. You know, Frank's also a customizer. He customizes his own harmonicas. Yeah, he's real good.
Absolutely. All right. Well, listen, you guys are going to be tonight. What are you going to do while he's playing? I mean, that's what I want to know. What are you guys going to do while he's playing at 5:30 over at Flynn's?
On small tours like this, and Gary has afternoon gigs, typically what will happen is he makes John and I practice at the room while he's doing his other gig.
So you have to go back and practice?
I'll run scales, and John practices his paradiddles.
Don't believe it for a moment. They're gonna go down to either Flynn's or Howard's and have a couple.
Okay, and get ready for the show, right?
Oh, that's right. And also, we're gonna have a fun weekend. 5:30 at Flynn's. That's a solo show. 8:30 at Howard's, the band, and then Aiken Center for the Arts tomorrow, 7:00. Go online for tickets. aikencenterforthearts.org.
That's right. Well, you know, Gary, it is always a pleasure for you to come by. I wish you came up here more, but I know you're back there in Charleston taking care of business and doing a lot down there. Now, if people want to see you down there, where's a good way to find out what you're doing?
www.shrimpcityslim.com. And I urge you to try our weekly Blues and Barbecue Harbor cruises aboard the Carolina Queen. They sail every Thursday out of the City Marina on Lockwood Drive in Charleston. A really fun time.
And also, aren't you on Facebook?
Absolutely. It's facebook.com/shrimpcityslim.
I always say Shrimp City Slim, a.k.a. Gary Erwin. I say it backwards for a reason because I really think you're Shrimp City Slim and Gary Erwin might be your alias.
Well, same thing with Juke Joint Johnny and Clam Chop.
There you go. Well, listen, I tell you what, it's coming up on that 5 o'clock. Shrimp City Slim's going to be playing down at Flynn's in just a few minutes. You got enough time to get over there, 5:30. 8:30 tonight, they'll be rocking it out at Howard's. Thanks so much for coming by, and Merry Christmas to everybody.
Thank you, Ann.
Thanks, Ann.
And thanks a lot, Ann. To you too.
All right, this is WCRS. Gracie, we're done. Bye-bye, everybody.